the finish. Tiz the Law has a 4-lane lead. He's left the others behind.
Live from the backstretch at historic Saratoga Racecourse, this is Racing Across America. Racing Across America is brought to you by Pinnell's Restaurant, a Saratoga tradition since 1922. 284 Jefferson Street, Saratoga, just minutes from the track. The Leah Auto Group, Leah Cars for life. Find them on the web at leahcars.com. The new Capital OTB wagering platform. Bet any place, anytime with the new Capital OTB wagering platform. CapitalOTBBet.com, the premier wagering site in New York State. And the Clubhouse Racebook. Can't make it to the track? Make it to the Clubhouse Racebook, 711 Central Avenue, Albany.
Good morning and welcome to the Wednesday edition of Racing Across America. Brian Nadeau with you. It's Travers Week. My goodness, week 6 here. Week 7 here at Saratoga. My goodness. And I'll bring my partner in crime in here as he's laughing me off the set. And boy, it gets to be that way up here. This is 11 racing days left, and we kick off Travers Week. Usually Anthony's with me on Thursday for the Gamblers edition of Racing Across America. We switched it up a little this week. I'm going to give our fearless leader, Seth Merrill, a little help this week. I'm going to tag team kind of the Travers card. So we've got Brad Cox on Racing Across America tomorrow and a couple others. So Anthony and I are going to switch it to Wednesday on what is a beautiful day outside. We are on the turf, no issues with weather or anything like that. A fun card today as well, especially late. I think the last 5 races, and you've got a couple to look at in the late pick 5 today, but I think this card really opens up late. We're going to have some fun with it.
Yes, I believe that. I will be interested. Do you think it'll be firm on the turf?
No.
I don't think so either.
I'll tell you what.
Oh, because
I'm going to tell you what.
Monday and Tuesday here, I trust also, right?
If they tell us
we're not going to believe
it's firm, I'm not believing it.
Neither will I.
I'll give you a good, maybe.
I think there's little chance we're going to have ever experienced summertime Saratoga firm turf rattle your feet. I don't think we can get there. I don't think we've been there. I thought we were getting there for like one day, and it rained again. And I know in the Capital District I had unbelievable rain on Sunday, which I just assumed was like a tail end of Henri or something that, bedeviled the New England people.
Right.
Hope that they're able to make it. But I don't know. I just don't see summertime like rattle your feet, 4 stars, all-star type turf and for the whole meet. But I think they will be giving it today regardless of what they say. But as we said, we on the handicappers report, the rails are back up on the inner that the racing form says at 9 feet, and what has been standard operating procedure the last couple of years, the rails have been dropped on the Mellon Turf course on Travers Week, and we have just been told that it is labeled as firm, which is it's their turf, it's their ballpark. But as I said, I pointed out, I thought a couple of times about the Robert G. Dick Memorial, the long-winded turf race for fillies and mares down at Delaware that watch the race. They said, I believe it was soft was the official labeling. Watch the race. They have their opinion as soft, and if you watch enough racing and
Jalika was awesome that day, by the way.
Yeah. Bet against her the next time because I liked someone behind her. But they said soft. They said always dreaming won on a wet, fast Kentucky Derby. Looks sloppy to me.
It's their racetrack.
It's a racetrack. They can do whatever they want. I think we're not crazy. Like we're within the realm that I just think that it's not. I'm not saying that
Agreed.
I think it's soft. I think it's not firm.
And you'll watch for yourself, and race 3 is the first
decide.
one, and you decide and check out the splits and all that kind of stuff. You've got 3 replays teed up, and it won't take long to get to the first one. 105 in the opener.
Now, a couple of things. Okay. Go ahead. I shouldn't have interrupted.
No, did you want?
Well, what I like to do is for the the viewers is to, because it gets kind of confused. The first race, number 2 for us today, what you're going to be visualizing, though, will be number 4 in the gold. And I like to get that out before it starts rolling because it's, I think, easier for them. It won't be hard to follow my guy because I'm going to be up front.
And this is the last race on the PPs of Point of Humor. Most recent race, I should say. July 22nd, right here. This is the opener today. 6-1 on the morning line for Kelly Breen.
The bobble at the break, 2-path tie. Remember, we're number 4 in the gold. You can see us now kind of with the best giddy up. You can see the 2 trying to make the front and the washerboard angle for the jockey. Watch the head-on, decide about bobbles and banging for yourself. It only takes about 15 seconds, and you can see where Luis Saez has now comfortably made the front when other runners were trying, I thought, more earnestly. Now, I want to make one quick thing. One of the things most people, I think, don't realize, but a couple years ago they raised the turf course, and it makes it far more difficult to see what's going on the turn on the dirt races because of the railing. But I thought Point of Humor, who is 6-1 on the morning line here, making the 3rd start of the year that I like, ran a terrific race down inside. Now, here's a position where sometimes you might think this isn't going to finish well. We never end up changing leads. That's something that I try and dial in on. And you're thinking now, oh, this can't go well at all. But I love the effort we put in early. We stayed inside. You can decide on the bobble, the break, gathered himself, showed good early speed, got run over in the lane. But I was just thinking that was maiden 50s. Now it's maiden claimers, 20. You have to look at each individual field size to decide for yourself, but that's a significant drop. It's not obviously as big day in and day out as maiden special weights to any maiden claimers, but you would think that a maiden claiming animal that you're willing to sell for 20 is much different competition from the 50. We have good speed from the inside. We break well. This is the 3rd start off of a layoff of her career. I shouldn't say layoff, of the year. This race was off a long time, August I think it was, until July. So I expect the best effort. I expect a better effort than the last race. I thought that was the final tune-up for this spot, and I'm dropping way down in here. And maybe it's a $14 winner. We didn't have too many of those last week, but I just thought that this is the type of horse that I'm going to cling to. And maybe speed carries on opening day of Travers Week. That I don't know about. And I will say that much of this race, Brian, for me, was with a strong feeling that Rudy Rod was coming out.
Right, and we talked about this on the Handicappers Report. Rudy Rod ran Sunday.
And this race won't be 6-1 with Rudy Rod.
Oh, you know what?
7-5.
Brian sent the scratches.
He did scratch. Yeah.
He did scratch.
Well, Brian,
okay.
And that was
Thanks, Brian.
That was the starting point to me, was that. And in fairness, now I should have actually mentioned it. Well, I won't mention it now. Now the morning line odds don't count because not all scratches are the same. And Rudy Rod was 7-5 in the morning line for David Aragona, so that's out. I can tell you years ago, Brian, particularly in 2-year-old maiden special weight races, when a horse scratched out, they would come down on the grease board, and in black marker, the man would reset the morning line.
That's good. I know John White does that out.
And obviously, there'd only be 100 people that saw it. 5,000 people walked past the board, but very few would be walking. I thought it was neat information. It's not relevant. Forget the 6-1. Rudy Rod, I thought, was always coming out of this race.
Yeah.
We talked about it earlier. It changes the race. I truly like Point of Humor. I handicapped this without Rudy Rod being in the race. I think now it's even for those of you out there, I think he has a much better chance because I saw this race the way it come up. You make a leap of faith with the off the turfs we talk about. This one I thought was less of a leap of faith.
One of the many the beauties of having you as a partner, you're a longtime good friend of mine as well, and I can just throw it to you you can talk and I can do other things. And we just secured Jack Sisterson and Al Stahl tomorrow for Racing Across America. So,
I
no problem there.
It's not good to say your own compliments if you've had that. No, I guess this is okay. I can tell you that for what we do here, the best compliment I ever got was, he since passed away, and a wonderful person. Jim Barber was at this company for forever. He was here when I had brown hair and I was in my 20s. I used to do a lot of these shows by myself, which was hard work, but I was glad to do it. But we were doing this different type show one time, completely different. It was actually a college basketball thing, and the other person didn't show up. And they're worried. He's less worried, but he's worried. And he opens the show, and I go, and he says, "We're all set." Takes off the thing, puts it down. Best compliment I ever got in the game.
I never worked with Jim, but he was always great to me and highly complimentary to me. And I always, would back in the day when I would come to the track a lot more than I do now, I would always walk into the clubhouse and he'd be there with Gene Wood, who I saw the other night at the Hall of Fame. Yep. It was good to see Gene. And they would just kind of be just on watching the big screen there. Yeah. Jim was a good guy.
He cared and he was good at his job.
Yeah.
And that was good. He did. I remember the first day they mic'd me up for OTB in '92, and he's like, "Go get him." But he takes off the headset and goes, "We're all set." Very nice. We'll see. Go ahead.
No.
We'll see how the board goes. It's a significant scratch, that I thought was going to happen. And, what's funny is now that Uncle Skeets, the one horse who I don't fear nearly as much as I would have with Rudy Rod, if Rudy Rod had run, say, 10 days ago, that he would have been in this spot, that maybe the wagering, takes some money, etc. But Point of Humor, I think, has multiple things going for him here. The third start, the speed. Like I said, I've always been a big proponent of it. Woodbine used to do the best thing. With head-ons, almost everybody shuts down the audio. Woodbine used to run the head-ons.
Oh, yeah, you never ever hear that.
You don't hear, I don't know what that's about, but watch head-ons. And the one thing about, especially the gate, which I think is important, it's going to take you 15 seconds to make your...
Not the most. All right, let's check out race 7 now. We're going to dig a little bit in these PPs. We're going to look at Gandy Dancing in race 7 for Chad. In a good race today. I've got Gandy Dancing second.
You're not going to talk about the bet? How are you doing this?
I like him. No, we're going to do that after the next
do all the replays first and then go back?
I mean, hell, we've only done this 6 times. Gandy Dancing. Now, this is last year at the Spa, August 30th.
So Gandy Dancing is the 4 with the yellow silks. Mid-pack here, you can kind of see me pretty good in here. This is the third start of 21, which I like. He gets back to a first fast track, we're hoping. First time in for a tag. I mean, look at, I think it's Javier Castellano. I'm sorry, I know. This is within, is I guess the term I would use. To be able to be mid-pack within yourself, not having to work, I kind of like very much. Now, Gandy Dancing was 6-5. In here is 92. This was last year, but I love the race the horse puts in. Now you can see the jockey urging. We get a nice little trip inside out. And you can see that there's moisture in the racetrack. Look at the chest on the horses. Powerful through the lane here. So that was August 30th of last year. Javier Castellano that's the New York bred entry-level allowance. Went to the Jersey Shore. Not so good. Ran one more time. And I'm not making any conjecture about what happened in the next level 2X. But the horse didn't run until May 29th. So just take that for what it's worth. You would think you could come back earlier in the spring after the winter off if all systems would go. I'm throwing out the slop effort, the yielding effort. We talked about this on the handicappers report. Those are not relevant for me, even though the slop effort was really
good. This horse did run poorly in the slop.
Right, so that's good. That means to me, the offspring of Flatterer is back. Like he's here. It's reasonable to me to project that August 30th race. I'm from the inside, but I have Giddy Up in here, and I think it's returned, and the horse has worked out well. sense the yielding turf effort that I'm throwing out completely. Javier Castellano gets a board. I was looking at 9-2 here. And Gandy Dancy, to me, is a major player. And that's why I think an August 30th race of 2020 is more relevant, is relevant to this horse's effort, because I think we can see ourselves there. And I did not realize it until this moment. That was actually the career best. But I am always slow, and I can't go into it because it's not that it's complex, but there's moving parts maybe. Racetracks that are labeled fast, that have some component of water into it, and it's unarguable that there's not. You see the chest on the horse.
Yep.
I'm going to tell you that through years of data inputting, teletimers being clipped pretty quickly and getting good buyer speed figure numbers is not uncommon for fast tracks that look actually like that. All fast tracks are not created the same. And that was just his career best, but I'm not surprised. Whether the water tightens it up, I don't know what it happens. But my data shows me that when I look at fast times, sometimes the day or two before has colored boxes indicating that there was moisture around. And you can see, you don't need any charts, that there was water in that racetrack. And my point being is, I'm expecting that race today.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at $11.
All right, one more here for a replay, and then
Race
what we're
8.
going to do is we're going to take a break, and Anthony's going to spin these into his tries today. This is race 8. Today, number 3, Handy, 10-1 on David Aragona's morning line. Let's take a look.
He'll be number 6 in Red Silks. This is a night race at Churchill Downs with our good friend. Right? Did they get the audio, right? No, they get us. I'm sorry. Mr. Stone calling the race here. So there I am. Pretty good. Gray 6.
White blinkers.
Up early. Yeah, the red silks in there. Perfect position here. Now, this is a starter allowance race down at Churchill Downs. It's 2 turns. And I think both of those, I think 2-turn racing, it's tough at Belmont because you don't really have them except the Belmont Stakes and a couple other races. But I have perfect position here. I have forward position in here. And this is the type of race I get Jose Ortiz in here. Let me give you a little rundown here. I think this horse is very sharp going 2 turns. Look at his Oaklawn Park races, just the 2-turn races. I thought, looking at the horses that are up front, and that's the 1, the 6, the 7, and the 5. My guy, the 6, who is not looking for room yet, I think we're comfortable here, finishes by far the best of the upfront runners in here. I'm dismissing the most recent effort. That was on the turf. That's unimportant to me. I think he's at the right level for Wayne Potts. And I just think you look at the Churchill Downs 2-turn race. Remember, Churchill Downs mile is not 2 turns. It's an impossible to watch race, but it's not 2 turns. And the 2 Oaklawn Park efforts. Now, he looks like he's in very deep waters here, but he's not. Now, maybe the rail was good at Churchill Downs this evening. I don't know. But, boy, you can see the jock getting into him, and he is no quick. But you can't see the other front runners in the picture. This is the horse that makes the last most best run winning, and the horse making a late run. And I think it's an optical illusion that he was coming back on them. If you do the mathematics of acceleration, you don't pick up speed after being on the front end, near the front end, late. They were slowing down. They're going past them, the closers. I thought that was a big effort for Handy. 10-1 would be a gift in my appreciation. Once again,
you kind of have to get it almost. You look at this field.
Yes, and you have to sift through the races. You don't think that matter. The turf races, whatever. I want the 2-turn races, which he's going to get here today, and I think he's a major player with Jose Ortiz down inside. I think we get forward position again.
I do agree wholeheartedly with you that you have to take the pen and be okay with drawing lines through races. Yeah. And with
just
this
can't
horse,
be arbitrary, but these are
right.
This
and
is
with
not
a
close.
horse like Handy, it's very easily doable. Is that a thing? To get back to that race we just showed. And take that as his body of work, and there it is. So.
And that's one of the things. When I get the opportunity, I get to make these myself. My whole thought is, you know, I believe you should try and show an effort that you think is viable to occur here this afternoon. I mean, there should be a relationship.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's what we're getting here is the chance to run a race that we've just tried to show you. And as I said, you know, the price is everything to me as a function of what you think they should be. That's the part that the value isn't that they're $18. It's a value that you think they were 12 and the people want to give you 18. Well, I'm happy. I'm not happy to take 18 when I think it's supposed to be 32.
Can't agree. First break here on the Wednesday edition of Racing Across America. When we come back, Anthony will spin these around into some tries. Stay tuned.
Welcome to the West. I'm Scott Varley at Saratoga's latest and greatest high-rise luxury condo. Starting in the mid-fives, every condo here has 2 bedrooms and 2 baths and upgrades just like this. Check out these oversized private balconies. We also have a gym, a private lounge, and get this, a heated parking garage. To make a reservation for your private condo at the West, call or text me. I'm Scott Varley at 518-281-6808.
Welcome to Albany County, an incredible destination to live, work, and play, with easy connections to more than a dozen cities from our vibrant modern airport. It's a short trip downtown to a hive of culture and amusement, from world-class shows at the newly renovated Times Union Center to reliving the past at the New York State Museum. From outdoor recreation to shopping to nightlife, Albany County has something for everyone. We'll see you soon.
For 4 generations and looking forward to a 5th, Bruce Cerrone and his family have continued their 99-year tradition of delighting their faithful following with the finest authentic Italian recipes made with the freshest ingredients. Some things have changed in the last 99 years, but not Pinnell's commitment to the finest in Italian cuisine. Pinnell's Italian Restaurant, a Saratoga tradition since 1922. 284 Jefferson Street, just minutes from the track.
Welcome back to the Wednesday edition of Racing Across America. Brian and Anthony double duty here with you, and we've got the Gamblers version today. Tomorrow, Racing Across America, we are confirmed now. So I wasn't looking at Mets box scores or how the Mets scored all the runs last night. I will admit, though, while you were talking in the last race, I just could not. It's like the sun. You're not supposed to look at it, but you do. I had to go back and look at the Javi Baez tweet.
It's understandable.
Swing last
When you
night.
watch it, this is a major league professional baseball player who's probably about to become, at worst, a quarter of a billionaire.
Yeah. So tomorrow,
making a T-ball, well, not T-ball because it sits there, but a farm system swing.
Epic.
And I don't mean Major League Baseball farm system.
Epic. Al Stahl, 10 a.m. Jack Sisterson will join us at 10:20, and Brad Cox with Godolphin's heavy favorite in the Travers Essential Quality at 10:40. So that's pretty cool. Looking forward to that. Before we went to break, Anthony showed you 3 replays, talked about them, and now he's going to put them into play. We'll kick it right off in race 1. You come back to Point of Humor. Now, don't forget, we lost Rudy Rod. The 3 is out. We've got the scratches. Rudy Rod is out. As you talk, I'll make sure any other scratches in your other races.
Right, and that was one that Monday, not Monday, was it Monday? Yes, Monday, because I waited for Monday. I felt Rudy Rod was coming out. He had raced on Sunday, and I just didn't think he was coming in. So the race for me is made easier for handicapping, made worse for betting. But Point of Humor is, I showed the race because I put him on top on the handicappers board because this, the race goes through it for me. The key in my trifectas, though, are clearly the 7 and the 8. the one I really want no part of it, and this is probably the closest I get to the horizontal players who say defensively you kind of got to drag somebody along that in a vacuum you might be like, I'll kick him to the curb easily. Well, I'm kicking Uncle Skeets to the curb, but call home his first time dirt for Wayne Potts making the fourth career start, first start of the year in the career debut at Belmont in June of 2020. Showed some early speed. Now, I will say this, and I talk about this all the time in the data that I collect. Rails are up. Do not be impressed by 22-1, 44-3, 109-1. I think it was like one of the slowest with the rails up. It's just, you just have to compartmentalize them.
Yeah, you've got to take it with a grain of salt.
It doesn't stick out, but I do
Tough
like
to trust.
Yeah, I'm not trusting it. I think though that the early type of speed on the outside in a race that I never thought the 3 was running. I know if I remember correctly, No Burn the 5 was the horse you sort of fancied in here.
Yes.
On Handicaps Report. It's first time dirt in the third career start. The horse could blow up everything for me. But I thought if I was going someplace, and I like Point of Humor on top, the 1 and 5 did not seem trustworthy to me. So the 7 and 8 comes in the list, and I probably made a mistake including the 1 versus the 5 in here. But this was a race. It's a short field. I always thought it'd be a field of 7 at best. So at a horse that might be around $11, Call Home to me was just as good a risk as others. And I thought Napoleon Complex was not as big a risk. As a matter of fact, here's an example of where I want to say, go back to the August 4th race. It says bobbled at the start, tired. Boy, I have to tell you, and I'm not picking hairs on people that make these calls. I'm bringing it up so you go do this little 15 seconds of work. Boy, that is as slight a bobble as you will ever see.
I feel like...
So I don't want it. That's my opinion. I want you to go watch the race. You can agree with neither of us. You can agree with the form. I'm not disagreeing with the form. I'm narrowing it down. I do think he bobbles, but I think sometimes there's probably 3 different stages of bobbling. Kissing the dirt. This would be a 1. Kissing the dirt would be a 3. And there's the one where it's a 2 where they get snatched up quickly. That's just a point I made. So Napoleon Complex is in my mix, and we talked about the trainer having the $40 winner, but it's the 2 with confidence over the 1, 7, and 8, and you can't spread. I can't take it 1, 5, 7, and 8. That's not possible. I probably would want to kick the 1 out, put the 5, but the 7 and 8 are the keys for me here. It's a short field. The ticket will cost you 7, so you have 6. You have $18.
All right, let's take a look at race 7. You're going to spin back Gandy Dancing, 9-2 on the morning line. We lose number 4, Power Up Painter, but he was not significant in my analysis, and he was not a player in yours either, because he had no speed, and that's not part of the plan up here on these sprint races. You better be close. You showed the August 30th Gandy Dancing race. Put him into play here today at 9-2 on the morning line.
Now, for horizontal players, maybe there's a similar type of reaction, which is I don't think my top pick is the key here, because I like the horse to win the race. I don't think you're not looking at $28, which you would bet the horse to win, and then make smaller plays maybe. But the key to this race for me is the 3, Big Mountain. And he's the horse I actually want to talk on. We showed the race. I like Gandy Dancing to win this race. I also should have pointed out, and I didn't, was that for Gandy Dancing, this is the first time in for a tag. The other races...
you see the end.
Were the state bred 2X. They ran under those conditions. But not only 2X, remember, and you can see it here, for many years, it was 42X. And then because of inflation, they raised it this year to 45 2X. But this horse is running for 25 New York bred. I forgot to bring that up. That is a bad job on my part. That's pivotal. But the 3, Big Mountain, the Mike Michelli barn, I am repeating myself. We are so grateful to people that watch the network continually, but I realize that that's not everybody. Mike Michelli 1 for 10, so he has 9 losing runners. 78% of those have hit the board, which is good no matter what. But I think it's even better when you hear 14 to 1, 7 to 5, 16 to 1, 10 to 1, basically 9 to 1, 7 to 2, 6 to 1, 5 to 2. His winner was $19. I think it's fair to say Mike Michelli's runners are running stronger.
Live is the word you're looking for.
Live is the short, quick answer, which I really never figured out. So Big Mountain, the 3, is a key component in this race for me that will help out. I don't want him in 3rd. I want him in 2nd. I think I kick more people out of the water. If I remember correctly, you strongly like Binkster in here.
Binkster. I will have a strong.
Yeah, he's.
What is the number? I will have a strong 5-2 to the hoop with a backup enough to get me out. I do like Binkster a lot.
And Binkster and Dark Money were in it. But here's a race where I like the 2. He likes the horse a lot, and 2 is under him. But Big Mountain, the 3, in my trifecta. Now
he makes it.
That's the type of horse that's immaterial to Brian's type of betting. He has no worth at all to you. You're like, but to me, he has big value in the tribe. But I like, Mike Michelli, props to him. His horses are running terrific. Forget the 10% win percentage. Even though, boy, thinking about it, he's just at his ROI. He's like almost right there. He's run 10 horses. He's at 1940. How about
Miss Orb didn't win. That was, you don't want that,
that was
for,
7
1
to
for
5.
10 at 7 to 5.
No,
so.
And exactly. You know, you're almost like they kind of help you where not to go. You're like, I don't want him at a short price. I want his own. Oh, a quick thing, just and I know we have some people at Del Mar. Tierra Parago, who won the Pacific Classic.
Yes.
And was like 0 for 45, and now is like 4 for 60. The day before the Pacific Classic, like $110 winner. He will finish the meet probably plus ROI with a win percentage around 8.
All that matters. One more here, and this is the one you're probably really looking forward to, because Handy's a big number. 10 to 1 on the morning line. We talked about this 10 minutes ago. He almost has to be 10 to 1. We showed the replay. This is race 8 today. We went back 4 races at Churchill in the 2-turn race, which was, very relevant to today's field and body of work. Here's probably the try like I said, you're really looking forward to.
And 2 things. The other 2 horses are, I'm guessing, are probably going to be about 9 to 2. Forget the morning line in race 1. But this horse is probably a $20 horse, so that there's a win bet north of 6 to 1 most times for me, almost mechanically. I mean, but often a $22 horse on top just lights up the board for the trifecta players. Winterpool is the horse to beat. The race goes through the 5. That's just how it is. The horse that I'm bringing in here, though, is the Deuce, who tis ride time for Ian Wilkes, who I think is a major player at 8 to 1. He's going to be a little bit off of it. The mud try going 9 furlongs on the dirt was very encouraging at 20 to 1. So the 2 underneath the 3 would be very good. Obviously, with the 5, it'd be less good. But I also bring the 8 here, making the 3rd start in 53 weeks. But Handy is a horse you cannot let get away in the win column. It should more than cover your exotic plays. I think apparently it's a more, I have a 10 to 1 shot against a horse who might be 7 to 5. I'm not afraid. I'm not shaking in the boots, but obviously this is the type of horse that really can make your week or a half of a meet. But 385, but once again bringing the 2 in, tis ride time, who I think fits, and I'd be happy to take 8 to 1 with Javier Castellano. This is the ticket. And like you said, we went 4 races back, but that's the first race that's relevant to this race here today. So you see the plays on up there for you. Like I said, generally speaking, you bring $60 to the track. And I should just point out, because the game has changed, I don't think we spelled trifecta correctly there. on the board. I was gonna say that
missed
counts.
that.
But I'm in the world of $1 tries.
Okay.
I mean, I know there are 50-cent availables, but I am a $1 try guy.
Okay.
I should put that out for the folks while I say you got about $60 invested.
Right.
You can have about $30 invested if you like.
Sure. All right. Next break here on the Wednesday edition of Racing Across America. When we come back, I'm going to talk late pick 5. We're good. We're going to talk late pick 5. A couple of these races that Anthony just went over are in that sequence. And also, when we wrap up today, show 4 or 5 minutes of Seth Merrow. He was at a TRF fundraiser barbecue last night, did some interviews and things like that. Came where
most of the fundraisers Seth goes
Thomas
to involves
Fornatale.
food. I noticed that.
It's a good
Smart
job.
man. It's good thinking.
Food and cocktails. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
They're all set now for the juvenile fillies to 14 of them across the track. Eagles sent on their way. And the dance on the outside, broke a little sideways, broke KK, but meanwhile it's going to be stopped. But running on now, and Somali Lemonade's got 8 to make up. They come to the top of the lane. Stop Shopping Maria's done a lot left. Stop Shopping Maria goes on. Sweet Cat is right there. Hard left to right. Royal Body is running on. Past the 8 ball weight comes. Stop Shopping Maria for the run. Still under a hand line as they come to the 16. Stephanie's Kitten coming out late. Yes, Stephanie's Kitten coming fast. Stephanie's Kitten. Stop Shopping Maria. Stephanie's Kitten's water. Watched the chances, broke smartly, but so did Terra from the Cape. On the inside, Sky Lantern, the grey going well. If he can get through, Sky Lantern, the grey looking for somewhere to run. Wide open. It's Terra from the Cape hanging on. Terra from the Cape tries to go all the way. On the outside now, here comes Flotilla in the light blue. Flotilla is absolutely flying. Watch the chances in there too. But Flotilla has gone right on by. And Flotilla is coming home to score. Flotilla has won it just about 2 in the end. It'll be Watch the Chances, Summer of Fun coming on to finish third.
Welcome back to the Wednesday edition of Racing Across America. Brian and Anthony with you. We kick off Travers Week. That's week 7. Your host got that wrong.
If we need
week
to stretch,
7.
If we need to stretch, I can talk more.
The only stretch I'm going to do is when I get up out of this chair after sitting here for 2 hours. That is the only stretch we will be doing today.
One thing I have to say is the young one turns 15 today.
Wow. Happy birthday to little Anthony.
He's been on the program 4 times. He was on for his first birthday, sat on my lap, was a dream trip as he has been. But
well, it had to be. He's never been on with me, so it had to be a while ago.
Yeah.
One, obviously.
Yeah,
you said 4 times.
1, 3, 4, and 6.
Now, is he watching Dad right now?
He's sleeping.
He's sleeping. Wow. So
he got his mother's
your son?
He's got his mother's great looks,
okay.
But he has the nocturnal part of me, but when you're that young, you may stay up till 2, 3 in the morning, but you can't get up at 7.
You're getting it on the back end, okay.
Whereas can't fight that fight. 7,
right.
Okay. As my wife likes to say, and has said for years, when I come to bed, here for your nap?
Yeah, so you and I are still going to bed at 3 a.m. We're just getting up at 7:30.
Yeah,
okay. Well, happy birthday to Anthony Jr. and you.
He'll be at Arlington.
Yeah, I know you're signed up for that.
Sunday.
I'm glad you're doing that.
Thank
awesome place. Let's we could do a whole show on that nonsense. But so race 6 is the late pick 5 today, and I think it's a doozy.
Ooh.
I think it's a good one. I get a little help because I love Binkster today, and what that does, it allows me to be a little expansive in other races. Steve Bick mentioned Rise the Guy, not his play of the day, not his DePaula play of the day, but a horse that is loose in the John's Call. I like him too. The nightcap is problematic. That's always good for a pick 5 or a trifecta. Let's take a look at the grid today. There are a couple noteworthy scratches, okay? Let's take a look at this grid today. And I've got to go sea level today as well.
Whoa!
Okay? Now, we lose the 5 in race 6. I will move up. I shouldn't say this. I'm going to tab the tote board, okay?
Oh, okay.
I'm going to tab the tote board on Preposterous. If she is live in race 6, I'm going to move her up. The barn might not be, Safi Joseph. So here you see the grid, okay? We lose the 5. The main ticket is not that expansive, but this is a type of sequence where I need to bring in some Bs, okay? I've talked about this many times. We shuttle horses in, we shuttle horses out. You get rid of the A, you put the Bs in. My best bet of the day, race 7, the 5, Binkster for Dark Horse Racing. I think he's in a great spot. Anthony likes the 2. That's Gandy Dancing. I like the 2 as well. My first B, definitely on my radar. You can see the 3 others. Now, race 8, 4, 5, 7. I really couldn't separate these horses. I do like Umbrazo more than Winterpool and Top Gun Tommy. I thought he had a little bit of a trip last time. Go back and watch that July 30th race. He gets whacked around pretty good off the far turn. I thought he lost some focus. I thought he lost his interest, and subsequently that cost him late. With a better trip, I think he would have been there. Joe Sharp's been very hot at the meet. Race 9 is a race I don't have a strong opinion, but I mentioned I think Rise the Guy is loose in there, okay? I think he's loose and can control the tempo with Luis Saez. You're going to try to do that in the opener with Saez. I'm going to try to do it with 7 more furlongs in the John's Call, baby. Okay? And he's going to be a price. The horse I'm fading a little bit is A Journey to Freedom. I've got him only as a B, 7-2 on the morning line. The finale is very, very tough. And with the scratch in race 6 of the 5, I may dope this out and move a B up to an A in race 10 because I want as much coverage as I can in there. And if the 6 or 7 aren't overly live in race 6, I want to move someone up in race 10. The C picks are just 9-2 in race 6. There's an extra 6 in there. That's my bad. The finale is tough. We both landed on the same horse. We didn't really talk about it a lot in the handicappers report because we were up against it on time. We both like Kitten's Romance. This is your race on the inner. We save all the ground inside. We mentioned our buddy Mark Hennig. Okay, 3 for 20. I think it's somewhat like 3 for 9 or 10. Mark's been...
I'm telling you.
Right?
Yep. He was... I mean, he hasn't run very many horses. That's, you do the math, that's fewer than 1 a day. And certainly quiet, I think, the first 15 days.
Yes.
And, you know, that's... You got to look a little deeper than just the service. I mean, the form helps you out, you know, at $12 off track that you get some data, but you got to... And I think Mark's in a very good spot.
You know what the C's are in race 6? Is my bad. The C's are 4-9-2. So this is why I want to circle back. I need C's today, and I've talked about this extensively.
So this is the 1 day a week day.
Yeah, and I can't talk about this enough. When you're going to C level picks in your pick 5s, you can't just put them in willy nilly blindly with your A's. It's going to cost. Obviously, you can see right here in race 6. I've got 3 A's. In 3 C's. Duh, if you just swap them out, they're going to be the same price, the ticket. Doesn't make sense, does it?
No.
It makes no sense. So, what we need to do is we need to come up with what I call my super A's. And that means I need to narrow the A's down a little bit to make it more affordable, more cost conducive, and quite frankly, to make more sense by putting the C's in. So, do we have the Super A's, Bri?
Now, I don't...
Thank you.
That's the Super A's.
So, here are the Super A's that I can swap in with my C's and make this much more affordable. you can see I've narrowed down some of the A's as the. There we go. Ah, good. This is excellent because he's got the scratches in too. I mean, that's yeoman's work right there. As the tractor goes by and completely deafens us. So here we go. And what this does is I take those C picks and I put them in with the Super A's, and it makes it much more affordable. I had 3 C picks in race 6. So it's just simple math, by the way, when you're trying to, don't let this overwhelm you. It's the same with your trifectas.
Right, it's plug and play.
It's multiplication.
Once you do it for 1 hour, you have it figured out because it doesn't change.
It's plug and play. So let's put the 3 C's in race 6. 3 times 1 times 2. 6 times 3 is 18. Times 2 is 36. Half it, $18 to put the C's in race 6, which is a lot better than the $54 it would have cost with all of the A's. It just doesn't make sense. Again, C's are like, you tongue-in-cheek said it, but it's the truth. C's are once-a-week horses. Once a week, a C might win, and if you have a really good day handicapping and your 4 other A's win, bingo.
And I'd like to, your group, other groups, last week there might have been no C's. There's only 2 horses above 6 to 1 all week. 51 races. 49 races were 6 to 1 or lower. That doesn't sound like too many C's for me.
And that's a good, you know what? I'm glad you brought that up because that's the case in point we're talking about. It's simply not smart to get to the C level and essentially give them the exact same weight as your A's and B's.
Well, that you can't do.
You can't. You'll be broke.
But I suspect that
first.
C level, I'd like to see that ticket out of Del Mar that scored for $120,000 the day before the Pacific Classic, which I did the pool. There's only one winner.
Okay.
If my math is right. And I was like, they talked about the $100 winner Tara had. So that
well,
really,
I don't think, I can't imagine.
Is that an all button?
Well, not only was it an all button, it's got to be a caveman ticket. Because, well, think about what you just said.
I mean,
one
it seems
ticket.
that like.
So you can't tell me, I don't know the mutual prices, but you can't tell me with a $110 winner, there wasn't another crazy bomb in there. Point being, that horse couldn't have been an A. Was there probably another $40 horse or something?
Well, you're going to find out in about 8 seconds.
You got to be a heck of a handicapper if that horse is your A.
Okay, this was the. Wait to hear these. So, $8, $45, $9, $112, favorite, and a 13. So
yeah, so that's
there's 2 bombs, 7th choice and 8th choice in the wager.
Unless you're a better man, woman than you and I, those are not.
That's why I would always
A's.
Love to see the tickets.
That's why I think to me it's a caveman, which is fine. Some people play that. The point of this exercise is that
affordability, handicapping, learning, advancing. We said the same thing. The important thing I think and this is what I think because I am in the group with much of them is the idea is you are not getting 100% coverage for 60% of the fee. That would make no sense. You're getting like 70% of the coverage for 30% of the cost. That's the idea because you don't think your 5th choice in a race is shoulder to shoulder with your top 2 picks. And so that's the part. It's like sometimes I look at people, I go, no, I don't have every ticket that the caveman has. I'm not supposed to. That makes no sense.
Right. And if you learn one thing from this segment all summer long, as a gambler, as a handicapper, as a bettor, that is it. You cannot weigh picks accordingly and have a bankroll at the end of the meet because you're going to spend so much more money doing that and you're going to go broke doing it. You have to weigh them unless your bankroll is not an issue.
But Andy Shirley made a good point the other day about even those people. Those might be the people who are most dialed into not being silly. They're like, they didn't get the money by being silly, and they probably had, and they would they would probably talk off the record, be like, I'm not gonna say who you are, but like, show me how you go through 6 months of your year in the pick six, the highs and lows, the bankroll, where it goes. And I think with the ones with the better bankrolls, I'm not saying all of them, but I would bet somewhere between 60 and 80% of them are pretty sharp and are concerned on a daily basis what they have going in. They're not going in going, yeah, here's 10 G's, just, bet it as you will and come apart. You have something?
Well, no, the Travers field just popped. So I just want to mention, they got 7 in the Midsummer Derby, 6:12 in the PM Saturday. Arrogate's 159.36 will not be in jeopardy, I can assure you that. Essential Quality, your 4 to 5 morning line favorite.
4 to 5.
Midnight Bourbon, second choice at 9 to 2 on the morning line.
Wasn't he the Buzz horse in one of the classics? Wasn't he the?
The Preakness.
He was the.
Well,
he was
maybe
the
the
wise
Derby
guy
too,
horse.
I don't know, yeah. Off that just.
I thought the Preakness.
Hellacious Haskell, and thank goodness, it's awesome that he's even here running. Oh my goodness! And then third choices. Keep Me in Mind, second in the Jim Dandy to Essential Quality, and Dynamic won the day before, won the Curlin. Looked pretty darn good doing it too.
Yep.
And then Masquerade, Al Stahl will be right in that seat on tomorrow morning. Third in the Jim Dandy, I thought he ran really good, and I don't think anybody. I don't want to say they don't think that, they're not mentioning it. He was the only one that hung around. I'll ask Al that. Miles D for Chad Brown, trying to win his first Travers. He ran very good in the Curlin. Very lightly raced, a world of talent.
Unfortunately, it's going to be an after the fact. I'd be interested to see how the Curlin and Jim, see how they.
And here's one I wonder
quality.
if he's going to be on your radar. I will use this horse on Saturday. King Fury, 15, the longest shot on the board. Kenny prepped him in the Saratoga Derby, so obviously no chance there. Let's get a lot of furlongs under the belt. He's not bad. And he will get 10. They all get the distance. Some of them get it faster than others.
Groovy got the Kentucky Derby eventually.
So we're going to take our last break here on the Wednesday edition of Racing Across America. When we come back, we're going to spin it right in to Seth Merrow at the TRF fundraiser, a little barbecue at the barn. He's got interviews, Kim Weir. We love Kim and the job she does with TRF, PTF, Peter Thomas as well, and a couple others. So stay tuned for that. Brian, are we going to be back here, or are we signing off? Okay, we're going to come back and close it down after that video. Stay tuned and enjoy.
For 4 generations and looking forward to a 5th, Bruce Cerrone and his family have continued their 99-year tradition of delighting their faithful following with the finest authentic Italian recipes made with the freshest ingredients. Some things have changed in the last 99 years, but not Pinnell's commitment to the finest in Italian cuisine. Pinnell's Italian Restaurant, a Saratoga tradition since 1922. 284 Jefferson Street, just minutes from the track.
Best place to find your favorite teams, your favorite food, daily drink specials, and wagering on live horse racing? Legends Field Sports Bar, 711 Central Avenue, Albany. Get your game on day or night with 75 flat-screen TVs, tournament-style pool tables, a private banquet room, and live horse racing. So if someone asks you, where's the best sports bar in the capital region? Tell them Legends Field Sports Bar, inside the Clubhouse Racebook, 711 Central Avenue, Albany.
We made it. We are here. It is a beautiful night. Our friends are everywhere. There are ponies behind me. So 2021 is a year of gratitude from the TRF to all of our friends and everyone who supports our work and our horses. And about 350 of those folks are here tonight, scattered all throughout the beautiful Saratoga Winery grounds. We've got music, we've got food, we've got raffles, we've got ponies. And at the end of the day, we have a lot of people who care. And that is what is the most exciting thing about tonight.
And food.
The TRF is so unique in a way that they take care of the horses who cannot go on to second careers. And for me, that's always a cause that's near and dear to my heart for someone who I individually take the horses that I know people might not want to deal with their injuries, and to give them lifelong sanctuary like the TRF does is an indispensable cause. And two, they also kind of pay it forward with the Second Chances program. So that is giving inmates and people incarcerated another chance at life, a kind of outlet, if you will. So a lot of them, especially the ones in Maryland, have come out of the programs and gone on to jobs at racetracks. So it's a kind of a full circle organization, and it is so important to our industry to have the TRF involved.
I'm feeling recalcitrant.
Oh, they are our founding partner. When we went solo with the podcast, the first people who reached out to us and said, hey, wouldn't it be great to work together, were the Thoroughbred Retirement Foundation. And ever since that, we've done whatever we can to help. We're here at the barbecue at the barn. It's a gorgeous event. There's a lot of fantastic energy running through this place. It's all for a fantastic cause. We want to continue to support the TRF in whatever creative ways we can, because their mission, helping horses and humans who need second chances, that sounds like something that JK and I are all about.
From this fine in the time of year, but I'm sad to see. I'm on my way, I won't be back. The minute you did walk, my heart is down. The hills telling you leave my love girl like you say.
So at Walk Hill, we have 30 retired thoroughbreds, and we have 4 inmates right now caring for our beautiful herd at Walk Hill that has been around since 1984. We're going to be 40 years in about 2 years. The program means a lot to me, as I care for them every single day.
Well, TRF does such a wonderful job. I'm proud to be a member of the advisory board this year as well, and being involved with both what's happening here in New York and in Florida at the Lowell Correctional Facility, the women's prison there too. So I've really gotten to learn so much more about what the TRF does, and I think it really fills a void in the industry in caring for those equine athletes that can't go on to a second athletic career. And you know, for both of us, horses have given us our lives really, and given us everything, and I think it's so important for us to give back to them.
Welcome back to the Wednesday edition of Racing Across America. We wrap it up. Brian and Anthony here, week 7. That means Travers week. They just drew it, a field of 7, headlined by Essential Quality, the 4-5 morning line favorite. If you can't see, or if you can't see, my partner alluded to, it's a little warmer at 11:05 in the a.m. than it is at, well, when you got here at 8:05 in the a.m., when I got here at 8:50 in the a.m.
It's always different. I mean,
always different.
I've rarely done the second show. This is really the first show with any regularity. But I used to hang around, and you're like, wow, the difference between first thing in the morning and second thing in the morning was substantial.
And if you're not, if you're late to the party and you're wondering why he's sitting here in the first place, because normally he sticks around on Thursday. I'll be with Mike Callahan tomorrow at 9 a.m. and then I'm going to solo Racing Across America with a little Travers Day feel. And the lineup is Al Stahl and the owner of Masca Parade, who is, quote, a great character. Your
He
buddy,
needs more of them.
Your buddy Al Stahl.
Yes.
10 a.m. Jack Sisterson and his Grade 1 winner, Lexingtonian, wheels back in the 4-go. Jack, as good a guy as you will ever meet, at 10:20 a.m. And then last, but certainly not least, at 10:40 a.m.
Defending Eclipse Award winning trainer, right?
Brad Cox, who is just nothing if he's not accommodating, and I think that's awesome. Brad will be here at 10:40 a.m.
Helps the game.
Godolphins, homebred, essential quality.
Just keeps on keeping on. That's all I can say. He just...
You have brought this up on the show many times, and it's probably the only reason I know this. Looking at Lucky, the last 2 to 3 champion.
I said, you know, and it's stupefying since spectacular bid, and the reason it's stupefying if you're my age, in the 70s, I think it happened 7 times, maybe 6. You don't count Riva Ridge because he actually got stolen as 3-year-old, but he won a 4-year-old championship, so you can change around the wording. But since the bid, I think if you look it up, looking at Lucky was until American Pharoah, right? Because American Pharoah, even though he didn't run in the Breeders' Cup, didn't he win the Eclipse Award as the outstanding 2-year-old?
He did?
I thought he did.
No. Did he?
I thought he did.
So he won the Del Mar Futurity as a maiden, then doubled up in the front runner or whatever. Might have been the North. No, it was probably the front runner at that point. It used to be the Norfolk.
Yeah.
Now it's the American Pharoah.
And the other day, Anthony and Andy were working together, and with my West Coast bias, the 2-year-old filly race they were looking for was the Oak Leaf.
Okay, yes,
the Oak Leaf, the
of
Chandelier. They got the front runner in the Norfolk, but I think
point being roundabout way is that if Essential Quality doubles on the Jim Dandy and the Travers, there's a lot of nails in the coffin to cement the 3-year-old championship.
I would say it's
pretty darn close.
Down goes Frazier.
Mandaloon is out. Medina Spirit might run on Sunday in the Shared Belief.
Who? Last place runner?
I think Hot Rod Charlie is done for the year. It's probably over already.
He wins the Classic. He wins the Midsummer Derby.
Well, if somebody doubles up in the Travers and the Classic or something, goes on a tear. I don't know, but Folsom won yesterday for Brad in the Smarty Jones.
In the old days, when a horse like Tisnow didn't even run in the Triple Crown, first off, that happens about once every 50 years. There's just no time for momentum anymore.
That's a good point too.
There's one you can't win the Breeders' Cup Classic as a 3-year-old and trump.
But remember, Will Take Charge tried to make that late campaign when he ran second he won the Travers, second in the Classic, and then he went out to the Clark.
And he needed to, but nobody had built the mountain Essential Quality. The problem for the others now is the mountain that Essential Quality has built. Those guys, they you take Tisnow, Fupeg won the 1, then he was off after the Preakness, didn't come back to the Wood. The Jerome was a grade 2. The mountain that these atypical ones climbed, the Will Take Charge, was a molehill, really.
Yeah.
This guy wins on Saturday. That's it.
Yes.
This is George Foreman, Joe Frazier, Kingston, Jamaica.
So before we let you go, also they're going to draw the entirety of that card later this afternoon. The PPs will be out tonight. Get to work, no excuses. It's an awesome day here at Saratoga.
I would say, I hate to
can't wait.
It's going to be better than the Preakness card. This is how good Naira does on Belmont Stakes Day and Travers Day. 2 of the greatest of the 5,
card.
It's got it, right? So
that's a
Breeders' Cup Saturday is the best card.
You're better than that.
Saturday.
You can make a case that this is the second best card of the year. Because Breeders' Cup Fridays, it's fine, but
you think it'll be better than Belmont Stakes Day?
Well,
I don't think so.
It's in the ballpark.
Right.
So we're out of here. It's 11:10 a.m. Great job in the truck by everybody for making us or helping us as we stick around a little bit. We love those guys, Mick, Brian, everybody puts this show together. Dino, Danny, and if anyone I'm missing back in the truck. So I'll see you back here tomorrow. He will see you Friday?
Friday, Saturday, Sunday this week.
Go time. Good luck, everybody. Take care.
You've been watching Racing Across America. Racing Across America has been brought to you by... Racing Across America is brought to you by Pinnell's Restaurant, a Saratoga tradition since 1922. 284 Jefferson Street, Saratoga, just minutes from the track. The Leah Auto Group, Leah Cars for life. Find them on the web at leahcars.com. The new Capital OTB wagering platform. Bet any place, anytime with the new Capital OTB wagering platform. CapitalOTBBet.com, the premier wagering site in New York State. And the Clubhouse Racebook. Can't make it to the track? Make it to the Clubhouse Racebook, 711 Central Avenue, Albany.